Hey guys, Wingy here and welcome to another edition of Why You Should Watch, the series that is self-explanatory. I talk about a series and why you should watch it. Now today I want to talk about The Devil's Hour. This is I guess it's still technically new because it's only been out like a month or so, but it's the relatively new series starring Jessica Raine and Peter Capaldi on Amazon Prime. I'm not really going to talk about spoilers because I think with a series like this, you have to go and watch this blind if you want the full experience of it. I don't think that you should really know any of the spoilery details or certain plot aspects to it. It's definitely a series that you just need to go and see it for yourself. So there's not really going to be spoilers here. The things that I'm going to be talking about, you'll have probably seen in the trailers, but I just want to expand on them a little bit without ruining anything. The basic premise of The Devil's Hour is Lucy, as played by Jessica Raine, she wakes up at 3:33 on the dot every single morning, and she has done for pretty much her entire life. She doesn't really know why. She has these weird deja vu moments that she can't really explain, and she sees things that don't really add up or make sense. She has nightmares about things that didn't happen, and again she just doesn't know why. She has a son, Isaac, who is a strange child, played brilliantly by the way, who I can't think of the actor's name, but I'm pretty sure it's his first job, and to be honest, if he acts like this in everything else, or at least as well as he does in this, then he's gonna go far, because the kid was honestly one of the standouts. But her son Isaac, he is a bit weird. He also has a similar sort of thing where he will see certain stuff but not in the same way as Lucy. He doesn't really have any emotions or feelings, really, it seems, and she really doesn't know what to do about it. You also have Peter Capaldi's character, who is seemingly a serial killer and is linked to everything that is going on. We don't know why, we don't know what his motive is. All we know is that he's just a bit of a creepy bastard. They're the sort of the main core of characters, but you've also got Ravi as well, who's a detective inspector. He is, again, a really great character. He is someone who is very dedicated to his job. He's very dedicated to the people around him. He's caring, he's kind. And again, he doesn't have any of these visions or anything like that, but he wants to figure out what's going on with Jessica Raine's character, with Peter Capaldi's character. He's just being a detective, essentially. Now, first and foremost, the cast. Every single person in this series is incredible. Every single performance is great. There isn't a single weak link in this cast. There are characters that you hate and you're meant to hate them. There are characters that you love and you're meant to love them. There are characters that at first seem like one thing and then you change your mind on them. Again, it's supposed to happen, and they all play it perfectly. Jessica Raine, I love her character. I really, really do. I think she plays it perfectly. You can tell that she is a mum who is trying her goddamn hardest, but it's just not working because Isaac is just an enigma all of his own. There's moments where she does try to be funny and lighthearted with him, and it doesn't really work. And you can see that it gets to her, and her performances, the range that she has in this series, honestly, amazing. Peter Capaldi, I wouldn't say he's in this as much as you'd like him to be. Obviously, me being a Doctor Who fan and a 12th Doctor fan, I love the guy. And it's not me saying that he's barely in it, because he isn't barely in it. It's just you want more of him because you feel like there isn't enough of him. However, when he is on screen and when he is talking to different people, or when he's just, you know, doing whatever it is, he is amazing. He is so intense. He's so menacing. He's so creepy. He's also lighthearted in places. He's just phenomenal. And Capaldi has got such a striking face that there are moments in this series where, and this isn't meant as a disrespect to Capaldi whatsoever, because I genuinely think that he's a great actor and everything, but because of his face being the way that it is, it adds to the tension and it adds to the intensity in certain scenes. The scenes that you would have seen in the trailer is him in the interview room, and there's a couple of scenes in that, the way that it's shot, where it's very much like face on, and I don't know if they've added like something to the lens to make his face almost seem sharper, but my God, so good, so intimidating, just brilliant. What I liked about this series as well is it's only 6 parts, but they use the time perfectly. It isn't a series that I would say is incredibly straightforward. It isn't one that you can just watch as something on the background whilst you're, flicking through your phone or something. You have to pay attention to this series. There are so many little intricate pieces of detail that I think you can watch this 2 or 3 times all the way through and you still probably won't pick up on everything. This series has so many different aspects. It has elements of horror, it has elements of drama, of science fiction even. And it does have its moments of levity, and fuck me, it needs them, because this can get really dark in places. There are certain parts of this where you think, Jesus Christ, and then it's not like Marvel where it like undercuts with humor and just takes away from the scene. Those moments of levity, the show not only needs them, but they're in the right place. It's not stuffed with ridiculous jokes or anything like that. It's these human senses of humor, if that makes sense. It's not like pathetic, cringy joke. This is how a normal person would react in that situation. Again, like I say, it can seem confusing in places. I think you do have to watch it multiple times, and also maybe check out people's video essays on this series as well. And if people want me to talk about it more spoilerific, then do let me know, because this is a series that I would love to just talk about every single detail. This thing absolutely hooks you as well. It is such a binge-worthy series, and I think that's also a good thing. I think if it was one of those where it was only shown once a week and you had to wait, I think you wouldn't really be able to keep up properly, because there are so many moving parts to this series, and sometimes it does almost feel like, well, that's one element too many. But by the end of the series, it does feel like everything has come together, and even though you probably won't understand 100% of everything that's going on, none of it feels like, well, hang on, what was that about then? It all feels like it's part of the same machine. They're all different cogs and they're all working together. It's just you don't really know what places they're at. I've heard it's been renewed for a series 2 and a series 3. I'm excited about that. I'm also nervous because the way that this series ended, I've got an idea of where it's going to go. But with a series like this, I had theories throughout the entire thing as I was watching it, and I was right with a couple of things, I was totally fucking wrong with a couple of things. But that's what I think is great about something like this. It feels like it's something different. It feels like it's something fresh. It feels like a series that, for me personally, I've needed to see for a long time. There's so much content out there now, whether it's on Prime or Disney or Netflix or the terrestrial channels or Sky or any of these sort of things. It feels like there's just a lot of stuff, but nothing with any real weight behind it or anything that feels original or that isn't part of a franchise already. The fact that this is its own thing is great, and it is a breath of fresh air. It is a bit of a palate cleanser in a way compared to some of the other stuff. I think the last series that I remember seeing that I was like, oh, thank God we've got something like this, is probably The Boys, and even then that does kind of go into the it does go into the superhero thing, but it sort of adds to an already oversaturated market, whereas this, it doesn't feel like it's like anything else. I mean, there are series like it, it is definitely a mix between a few different films I've seen people compare it to, but I've not seen anything like this for such a long time that it was just like, okay, here we go. And sometimes that's all you need. You just need a great story with a great cast that is performed well, that is directed well, that keeps you talking about it. Like I say, there's certain things that you probably will miss, that you won't understand the first time of watching. And I love that. I love that you can digest this over and over and over again, because you won't have all of the pieces yet. It totally makes, overall it makes sense, but not all of it does. So it's going into it again and finding out, okay, so what did that really mean? When he said that, what does that mean? Or, well, that character did that, so what does that imply for that? And all that sort of stuff. It's just brilliant. 6 parts, Amazon Prime if you've got it. I'm not sponsored by Amazon. I'd love to be. Amazon, if you're watching, like, call me up. But yeah, for me, honestly, one of the best things I've watched in recent times, and I would highly recommend it. I mean, even if you just love Capaldi or Doctor Who, even, because I think Moffat was involved in this as an executive producer, just go and check it out. But if you have seen The Devil's Hour, firstly, what did you think of it? Secondly, if you want me to talk about more spoilery details or explain a couple of things or what have you, then let me know, because I'll happily do more videos on this series, and probably will going forward when series 2 and 3 comes out. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe for more. Social media and Patreon links will be in the description, as always. So if you would follow me on any of those things, I'd absolutely love you forever. But until next time, guys, you take care of yourselves. Goodbye.